Happy Friday. I wanted to check in and discuss your budget for ads as we're coming up to hitting our 12 grand limit. We're a little bit early. We budgeted 2 grand a month for Google and Facebook ads. We're going to be hitting it any day now. So I wanted to recap how that budget has performed and where I think the budget should go in your space. Obviously, financial advisory, financial planning is an incredibly competitive space, and the budget that you're spending is actually just a minute budget compared to most advertisers in this space. But I think it was a really good start and the right thing to do, considering you guys were an absolute blank slate, established business, established domain, but with no real marketing campaign. So let's recap. First of all, I wanted to really thank you guys for embracing the journey that I've taken you on. You've embraced video creation. You've allowed me to interview you. You've allowed me to capture your seminars. The fact that you run these seminars to the public makes for amazing content. It makes for really trustworthy content, both for the users that visit your website and marketing assets that I can use to run further ads. So thank you for doing this, because getting in front of the camera, answering questions can be quite tricky. It's good to see the website is progressing. We're month 7 into the campaign. We went from less than 10 visitors a month to a cool sitting at about 60 organic visitors a month coming from our organic listings, which is not Google Maps, it's from the standard listings, where the term financial advisory and financial planning is the one that's moved up quite significantly in the last few months. Financial planning Victoria, this is awesome. Superannuation advice Melbourne, financial planning firms, estate financial planning, all skyrocketing in terms of rankings. We're up against some huge competitors, but you guys you're starting to do quite well organically in metropolitan areas of Melbourne and Victoria as a whole, and you're pretty much dominating the 10 to 20 kilometre radius on Google Maps. So I can already see the influx in SEO inquiries coming through, but I wanted to chat to you today about the performance of Google Ads. In the last few months, we're finally seeing a stable cost per lead from the Google ad, which is sitting at $165 per a lead, which you guys have mentioned have been quite good. My expectations with leads is expect most leads to be crap. That's what I prefer to set expectations, and these are the words that I've used from the beginning, even over a year ago when we first caught up, because at the end of the day, while I can control the exact term that we give money to Google for, I can't control the person Googling that term, right? And so it just becomes a numbers game. So it's really good to see that month 7, we can see the snowball effect beginning to mature. Inquiries that you may have spoken to a year ago when we first started that came from like a Facebook ad or a Google ad could have brothers, sisters, cousins that they've referred to you because you gave them a good experience. They may not have taken on you as a provider. Maybe they're not ready. Maybe they will be ready. But this is now, we're seeing the playbook that I was planning and I expected. I'm just seeing it starting to mature much sooner than I expected. I'm always very conservative with these things. I always like to under promise but over deliver. So 106 per a Google ad inquiry right now is where we're at. The budget of 12 grand for the year, I was playing with Facebook ads and Google ads. What really blew my budget was when the second seminar that you guys ran, you said to me, we're not going to be inviting our current client base. This is purely a cold audience. And I was like, oh, shit. So I took a chunk of my planned budget, threw it into the Facebook ad. And that's where this data here, we can see that, look, on average, the bum on seat was for the first month was $25, but then it creeped up. So from $25 to $60 there's an average in there, is what it costs for you to have someone not necessarily attend the seminar, but fill out our form, show their interest about the seminar, answer the questions that we asked about the seminar in terms of what they want to hear from the seminar, what do they want to learn, what kind of questions on retirement planning or superannuation they have. Okay, so we had 41 of those leads the month of the seminar. Once again, not all 41 rocked up to the seminar, but we at the end of that seminar said, guys, what we're experiencing is the cost of entry. We know that if we have 80 enrollments, that only 50 might rock up. If we have 40 enrollments, only 20 might rock up. It is a weekday after all, people. They're not locking themselves into anything. There's no payment. It's a free seminar where there's some tea, some coffee, and it's after working out. So we've experienced that as well. So now, moving forward, while you guys can now play around with the budget yourselves, there's no wrong or right way to do it. I want you to look at Google Ads as a tap, and some months, if you want, we can fully pause it because you're starting to get SEO inquiries coming through. Other times, you might say, Eugene, we're ready for some leads, and we'll put like $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. There's no magical number because we know that every $165, you're getting an inquiry that is spat back out within your targeted range. So we're only hitting 20 kilometre radius. We're only hitting the exact terms that matter to us, and they're the terms that we've ironed out after running this campaign for 7 months. So I propose that we roll with $2,000 a month for Google Ads, just Google Ads, and every time you are running a seminar, we allocate a budget just for the Facebook ads of that particular seminar, right? Now, it just depends on how big is the room, how many seats, if you're inviting your current clients, but I suggest per seminar we run $2,000 to $3,000 because roughly every $40 or $60-ish is an inquiry of someone that is interested in attending the seminar. Now, the beautiful thing is that because I've captured so many of these seminars and I've captured the interviews, we now have more marketing assets than ever before to promote the future seminars, right? If you remember the first Facebook ads we ran, I literally just used some photos from the office and I used your amazing movie night that you ran and a few clips and a few testimonials, and I actually mixed in a few AI images in there as well of your typical sort of happy AI couple drinking wine on a yacht, which is your typical sort of retirement planning, and it's got the sunset colors. And then the second round of Facebook ads, it was mostly videos, snippets of your seminar. So where you're talking about superannuation and when would you retire, how much money you need to retire, all of the stuff that's so valuable that you guys are so trustworthy on. I use that as the ad, and people are like, we want to hear more of this. And that's why your inquiries were, you had 41 leads come through of people interested in attending our seminar. Now, obviously not everyone can come to these things, they want to. But so I think the strategy moving forward, very sensible one, is we leave $2,000 running a month into the Google ad. And then when you are running that seminar, we allocate $2,000 to $3,000, maybe less. If you invite your own client base, we don't need that much. Or we run, let's say, $2,000 and we see how many have enrolled, and then we pause it there. But I'd say $2,000 to $3,000 is a very sensible budget. At any stage, we can pause things. It's like a tap. We can go up and we can go down, and it's really, this is my favorite part, is when the plants that the trees that we planted are now beginning to marinate. We're now beginning to, there's only one way to go. Unfortunately, the bad news today is that it's preparing you guys, because when we are in first position, we just jumped to a whole bunch of keywords on the screen where we're now in first position. Unfortunately, there's only one way to go if you're in first, and that's back down to second. When you go to first, we push a competitor down, and that means somebody got pushed to page 2 of Google. If you want to hide a dead body, you hide them on page 2 of Google. No one checks page 2 of Google, right? So it might not be the person that's jumped to second position or third position to react and call their SEO guy and say, hey, what's going on here? But someone that's just been pushed to page 2 of Google, if enough of those key terms are pushed to page 2, alarm bells start ringing. Hey, why is our traffic down? Why are our inquiries down? If someone is tracking that kind of stuff. But the more positions we're in first place, the more essentially we get the reaction of competitors. And because SEO is a never-ending game, it's a never-ending game of sculpting. We're adding backlinks every month, we're adding blogs every month, we're adding service pages every month, we're expanding our SEO pages. It's a never-ending game of sculpting, right? So the reality check is the more positions that we jump to first or second, the more we trigger the attention of competitors, the more they hire people like me, and the more potentially there's only one way to go from first. It's second, it's third. Okay, so won't always be rainbows and butterflies. Hope that makes sense. Have an awesome weekend. Happy Poets Day, and we'll speak soon.